Welcome to PPR Podcast number 163. My name is Rudy. I'm back after a 1-week hiatus.
Yeah.
The Director of Football Operations for the San Diego Strike Force, Mr. Bert Grossman. Coach Grossman?
Yes.
I believe we have a coach on the hot seat. Would you like to make introductions, please?
We do. Coach Nick Barnett from Del Norte High School and also international male model, as you'll see in a second. And there he goes. Look at that. You are the best looking coach in the county. I don't want to be like P. Diddy or nothing, but I'm just saying.
I don't know about that.
We're catching you in the midst of a move, so Coach, your generosity with your time is greatly appreciated. We'll try to make this quick and painless.
Oh, no worries.
All right, well, let's start. You know what? I want to start here. Let's start with you kind of went viral with a post of yours where you were talking about what are college coaches asking high school coaches, and you kind of laid out a real frank back and forth, and a lot of people took note of it. Would you like to explain it in greater detail than I just did?
Well, I think a lot of kids want to know. They see kids coming to coaches coming to campus and talking to, whether it's your head coach or your teachers or whatever it is. They keep asking me what do they ask. So, I laid it out pretty much plain and simple what they're asking. They're asking what you think they're going to ask. They're asking if, is this kid a good character kid? Is this kid showing up? Does he support your team? Does he show up to workouts? How's his behavior? The stuff that you think coaches are going to ask, they're going to ask. And I think some of these kids think that coaches will lie or maybe mislead the truth, but for all the coaches I know that I've met so far coaching in this high school, division, no one's going to lie for any of these players or anybody. I mean, I have relationships that go back to the last 3 coaches that came here. I've known them for 25 years, so I'm not going to lie to these guys that I know that are my friends, and colleagues, for a kid. I mean, I want these kids to get all the attention that they can get and everything, that they deserve if they work for it and if they deserve it. So, trust me, I want to say the best things, the most positive things about the kid are all my kids. But if it's not there, I'm not going to say that, and that's I think that's, it's going to carry over to their workforce. When you come and have that meeting, the boss is not going to lie to you in your performance report. He's going to tell you the truth. So we're going to keep that plain and simple and keep doing it, the right ways here.
I think that's, a lot of it, you get a lot of guys don't want to coach high school anymore because then you get the kids involved. And then the parents come to the administrators and say, coach is blackballing my son. But, I mean, like you said, with your football resume, how do you even, what do they expect you to say? You can't just lie if the kid doesn't go to class, if he's not a good leader, if he misses practice. But it seems like they want you, the parents, when they get involved, they do want you to lie, or they don't see it that way. The kid's lying, and they believe the kid.
Absolutely. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get too many parents. They might see it like, wait, he's talking about me. But, there'll be kids and people that are not as committed to our program or committed to a program. I've seen it, a couple years ago when I coached at different high school. There's kids that think they're going to get D1 scholarships or they're asking about D2 or D3 or anywhere. I mean, FCA, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people out there fighting for the same opportunity that you are fighting for. So wouldn't you think that you would want to do everything that you're supposed to do or everything that, you think you're supposed to do? If you don't know what you're supposed to do, ask your coach. And I guarantee you, your coach is going to tell you what you're supposed to do. Attendance is high. Your grades is priority. Those type of things are non-negotiable when you're trying to get a kid a scholarship. How many coaches, high school? I mean, I'm not trying to blackball anybody's kids, period. I want everybody to get whatever their dream and their desires for. But there's a standard that you have to hold yourself to if you're trying to get there. There's a million kids fighting for feels like only one spot basically, and you want me to go to bat for you, but you're not going to bat for your teammates. You're not going to bat for your school. You're not going to bat for yourself. So how am I supposed to go to bat for you? It is what it is, and I try to teach the kids and give them everything they can. I mean, most of our kids are really good, and I'm not saying that this is all my students are, but I've seen it. I've seen it through the county. I've seen it through other counties, through other states. So, might as well lace it and give them the knowledge that they need.
And, I think the other thing people forget, and I'm going to pretend I'm young and say I'm in your generation, but our generation, there was no transfer portal. There was no NIL. I mean, when there used to be 40 opportunities in the county for D1, now there's only 3 or 4 that you're fighting for. And I don't think parents understand that at this point. It's not it's not as easy as it was before. Not that it was easy before, but 3 stars were picked up. I mean, good kids were always got a D1 scholarship. It's not that way anymore.
No, it's absolutely a entire different landscape now. When we're looking at these transfer portals, we're looking at colleges. The little small not little small colleges, but the colleges you thought that a 3-star can just he was going to get a 3. He was going to get there. He was going to get to Montana. He was going to get to Wyoming. That's not the case anymore. No. These Wyomings and Montanas are going to get 3rd-string Alabamas, going to go get 3rd-string Texas A&Ms. So, you've got to come in. If you're looking to come out of high school and get to a D1 or even a FCS, any of these schools, you've got to be on top of your thing. Like, you got to be, period, on top of everything. You can't come in there messing around with attendance problems, with behavior problems, with grade problems, with any problems. There's another 900, and whatever 1,000 kids out there with those with that stuff. So it's a different landscape. Kids are coming in. You have the reclasses that are coming in. Because of the transfer portal, that starts to make reclasses look more appetizing for these college scouts that are coming out looking at these guys.
And yet, not to take you down a political path, but I just, because it was in the news today and we're now talking to you, we now have politicians in the state of California who want to legislate how much homework a kid can face. We've already pushed back the start time of school. Are we creating a generation of, listen, I didn't have to, sign up for the draft as far as the military is concerned. So
right.
My dad thought my generation was soft. And now I look at the generation behind me and I think, man, their hands are really soft. What is your take on all that?
Well, I'd say there's a lot of, change is change. Things are going to come. Things are different. We didn't have iPads, iPhones, and social media when we were growing up. So there's a different thing. But the homework thing, man, you can't substitute what good hard work builds fundamentally in your character, right? A lot of that homework and stuff, yes, it's about learning, but it's also keeping you disciplined and accountable for doing things. And if we start losing that in our society and in our kids, you start throwing accountability out the window. You start throwing that type of stuff. I don't know what kind of character we're creating, right? So, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that I don't agree with, and I don't want to get political, but I can. But when we're taking away the right to decide if our kid can play football at the age of 8 or 9 or whatever it is, kind of stuff like that. Man, that's the kind of stuff that I started looking at. Does the science back it? Does this back it? There's all kind of different things that go into play with that. But at the end of the day, it should be a parent's choice. You should be able to choose that for your children, or not choose it for your children.
I was going to ask, back to the recruiting thing. I saw, was it last week, you guys were your high school's top 50 or top 100 in the nation? Like ranking? Does that become a deterrent for some kids?
Academically?
Athletes to actually, if I'm thinking of going there and I think it's really hard academically and I got to put a lot more time into my game, is that a deterrent?
Well, as we know that we talked about that homework thing, there's parents that believe that you should get homework, right? There's parents that believe that you should go to a high school that's going to prepare you for actual college, not prepare you for online school or a trade school. This school is not an easy school. Neither is Harvard. Neither is Stanford. Neither is anywhere where when you leave there, you're going to be better than where you came in, right? So I don't think it's a deterrent. I think it's, if anything, as a parent, and as a kid, once you really think about it, like, yes, I'm gonna be ready for school. Our rigor and our academic is much, I won't say harder. It's, you can go as hard as you want to, but it is a hard school. It's a school. It's not a playground. It's not somewhere where you come here just to hang out with your friends. You're coming here to work. You're coming here to learn. You're coming here to get better. You're coming here to sharpen your tools for life. And if you're about that, if that's what you want to do, if you want to go to the next level in life, this is a place that you need to go to. This is a place where when you go to college, you're gonna be like, oh, college is easy. I promise you. I've only been here a year, but the alumni that has came back to our school and talked to our kids, they said this is the hardest part you're gonna deal with, because when you go to college, that's gonna seem like cake compared to this. So I wish I would have had that because when I got to college, it didn't seem that way.
Yeah, man, you're intense. I got to see one of your
Well,
pregame
well,
speeches.
Coach, my dad used to say, I know it's every family's heard this from their parents, but one man can make a difference. And I think he was talking about you. Because, listen, Del Norte has been a respected program ever since they've come online. But you have taken a respectable program and taken it to a new level. Coach, can give yourself a pat on the back because you're one man who's making a difference. And I'm curious, can you speak to to take a culture to an even higher level? Explain to me the challenges of that.
Well, I first say it definitely wasn't a one-man thing. I got a great group of administration at my school, a great group of supporting coaches at my school. I got coaches that are smarter than me. I tell you that for sure. I got a great group of family. My touch, we call it the TDC, is basically our board, are super dedicated and devoted to elevating our program, and they have been. So it hasn't been me by myself. We've been putting in work. They just, you got to get that battery, and I just happen to be the battery for our program and for our school. So I'm trying to do the best that I can, and I get elevated by every time I go into to meet with my AD and my assistant principals and my principals. Every time I leave their room, I come out more elevated and motivated to even improve more. So I love it. That's one of the benefits of going to a higher education place and coaching at a higher education place. You just keep getting elevated by the people that are around you. You're only as strong as your weakest link, as we talked about before, right? Like, I got some guys in there that know how to handle business, and they help me do the same.
Man, I love him. He's like when we have Louis Riddick on. It's like we only have to say about 3 or 4 things, and you carry the rest of the show.
Yes,
it's only you and Louis Riddick do that, and it's like, man, I gotta have these guys on every week. I just fall asleep here and ask one question.
We have to give Coach credit because of all the, every time April 1st comes around, you're always this, that, the other thing. I bit hard on who came up with the Aaron Rodgers is joining the Del
staff.
Norte staff. Was that you? And how many people believed it like me?
Yeah, I came up with. I worked with my guy, and one of my students. Well, now he's going to Nevada. He's going to be a Nevada student. He does the graphics for our football team, and we put it together. It was awesome, man. You know what? I still have people that are like, "Hey, can you tell Aaron to come by?" I'm like, "Aaron ain't here, bro." So, like, people still believe it.
Did you have to run it past him? Did you have to ask him if it was okay, or did you just do it?
No, hell no. It was April Fool's for him too.
I woke up and he had texted me like the screenshot. He's like, "You see this? We got to get him on the show." And I'm like, "This idiot, man, come on."
That was brilliant. Congratulations.
Hey, so what? We asked all the coaches out. Do you like the new playoff format or do you not like it? Because it seems perfect for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think I like everything until people start taking advantage of it, right? Yeah. There's ways to take advantage of the last format. There's ways to take advantage of this format. If you're here for the right reasons, you're always trying to be an open champion. And that's what I'm here for. Like, and then whatever happens at that point, wherever they put us at, then we play for that. If we don't make it to the open, then if we're in D1, then we're in D1. If we're in D2, we're in D2. It helps a lot of teams like ourselves. Like, I don't consider ourselves that we lost a lot. We did lose a lot. We lost 35 seniors, right? So we were great last year. We're not so sure. We don't know. We have a lot of unexperienced, but we have some great players here. What kind of team are we going to be? We'll see. And then at the end of the year, I feel like, it determines like if you're whatever the record is or whatever the strength of the schedule is, and it puts us in where we're supposed to be. The only how that becomes a problem if you start getting teams that start doing the math. Okay, if we lose 4 games, we'd be D2, and then they're like, we can win D2. That kind of stuff. Coaches need to be fired for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you shouldn't be a coach if that happens.
You shouldn't be a coach. You shouldn't be around children. You shouldn't be teaching the standard because that's not the standard. That's not what we're trying to. That's not an elevation. That's a de-elevation. But yeah, I think I like it until I don't.
But I think, the point I make is, like you said, you lost 35 people. The old system, you'd be punished for last year's success. This year, it's a little different, and you play to what you play. So. in the old days, it's kind of what happened with Scripps Ranch. They win a state championship, 30 seniors go away, and then they're done with Murderers Row in Division One.
Yeah, that was a brutal year for them. Hey, you brought up NIL, and do you feel like you came up at the wrong time? Because you could.
Man,
what's going on right now in college football? I've lost interest in college football because it's become professional football.
What the problem with college football, like we love college football because we were able to follow players and fall in love with, every couple 4 years when I was growing up, I would like a different school because of a different player, and I would like it for 3 or 4 years, right? You follow that school, you're like, oh yeah, who so-and-so's here, Charles Woodson's at Michigan, so I got a Michigan jacket, you know what I mean? I was all juiced, right? So it's kind of the similar what's happening in basketball right now. Like I like women's college basketball better than I like the men's basketball because I know the players because they've been on the team for four years. They're developing relationship. Even they're kind of moving around, but they move around less, right? Than the boys teams. So you can follow them and you kind of, you get a favorite player and that kind of stuff. So that's the one thing that's kind of hurting college football. Now I love the fact that as a football player, you get to make money. And if you're in a bad situation, you can go to a better situation, right? But the problem is this, you got starting quarterbacks that at a school and they're doing well, they're getting gloved. And then all of a sudden I'm going to Ohio State. Like what just happened, bro? You had everything. You were getting NIL money. You had a great fan base, but you wanted to go Ohio State just to go to Ohio State because whatever the reason may be. That's not why I thought it was built. I thought the whole transfer thing was like, a kid that just kind of get third string, great player. He's stuck behind this, maybe doesn't get along with the coach, or maybe the coach is trying to get him out of there, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Then he can transfer to another school and not be punished, right? But now we done turned it into this mockery of whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, if it's for the right reasons, then I applaud it and I want it there. But if you're just doing it to go, to move to Ohio State, and you weren't even going to go to Ohio State all of a sudden, you just got love from Oregon State or whoever it is. I'm just, throwing Oregon State out there, right? They gave you all the love, put you on a platform, gave you whatever they had. They probably didn't have much. Now you the man, right? You the man. Now you're going to leave them and go to another school.
How do you
get
that
didn't
genie,
want you?
How do you get the genie back in the bottle, though? I mean, I don't see, getting the cork back in the bottle. This is the way it's going to be.
It's the way it's going to be. They're going to have to figure out some kind of stipulations, right? Like there's got to be something. I don't know what the answer is. It's way above my pay grade. But if they offer me a salary for this, I might have to pull up. I'll figure it out for you. But I'll figure it out. Trust me. But they got to find some kind of way, man, because we can't take away what was so great about college ball and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I don't think there's going to be nothing done. They're making too much money.
Yeah.
And how do you? I mean, you remember back in the day. I mean, even rookies, they're so young they blow all their money. They get in trouble. You imagine being an 18-year-old kid with $1 million NIL deal in Miami. How do you manage yourself? I mean, it's got to be a disaster.
I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it,
Coach.
I wouldn't have made it with 50 grand.
I probably wouldn't have made it past the second season, Coach. I ain't gonna lie.
Same
I was
here.
18 with $1 million, a Ferrari, and a condo in Miami. No, sir. I don't know if I was mature enough for that.
No, but it's happening. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know. Hey, I saw that you were happy with the Packers draft. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah, I think they've been doing a good job. Goody's been doing a good job. He's, getting. What I like about it is they're getting their needs, but they're also getting really good players off their board, right? Like you're getting, you got a little bit of help for Jordan, on that line. We lost Bakhtiari. But then the defense was not that bad, but we just upgraded. We got more young guys at the DBs, grabbed some linebackers, trying to get that room rowdy and consistent, right? Got some DBs that can lock down. Like that defense is going to be something. Now, up front, we still got some good guys up front, so there was no reason to go crazy there for the defense. But man, I like what I see. The continuity and the type of players and the chemistry, I think, is going to be a big factor. But I think these guys all know each other from what I've seen.
Right. Hey, can I ask a quick?
All right, I told him to keep it quick. He's moving.
Nick, yeah, but
You're good.
Nick, how often do you break out the Super Bowl ring? How often do you look at it?
Not as much as I bring out my CIF ring now. You know what I mean?
I got a Blue Bonnet Bowl ring from 1987.
No,
you remember the Blue Bonnet Bowl? Yeah, I'm gonna break that out.
I mean, I know you probably like Weddle wore his to the Breitbart Hall of Fame thing, and man, he had a sore arm by the end of the night. It's so big. I'm curious, do you wear it anywhere? Are there places where you wear it, or do you just stare at it? Because it's a finite number of people that have one of those pieces of jewelry.
Yeah, I wear it to, like, Weddle did, to events, things like that, award ceremonies and things that, you're proud to wear it. And it's not very comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
I tell you that. After shaking like two hands, like it hurts. You're like, all right. But it is nice, man. People, the biggest thing is, like, people get to see. A lot of people have never seen a Super Bowl ring, and when you wear it, like, I'm always willing to show people the ring and stuff, because I would have loved to see it, as a fan growing up and stuff like that. So I wear it, and that's the biggest thing, is being able to show people that have never seen it, and just kind of wear it as a proud badge of honor that you worked for.
What's the percentage of people that see it and then ask you to try it on? They want to try it on.
Man,
everybody.
A lot of people. So let me tell you a story. When I first got it, for the first couple of years, I would just take it. Anytime anybody would ask, I'd just take it off. So I'd give it to them, like, here, check it out. You wasn't going to outrun me. You know what I'm saying? So I would let you hold it. You're going to get ran. I was going to tomahawk you straight up. But so I tried to give it to somebody one time, and they dropped it.
Oh.
Literally dropped it. And it messed the ring up. It bent it up, like, kind of just, it was weird. But Jostens, they'll fix it for you. But since then, I don't really hand it off no more, because because of that situation.
How would you be like the guy that broke Nick?
It wasn't you? I thought it was Paul that did that. It wasn't Paul that dropped it?
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, because we have something in common in that I spent 4 years in Green Bay working for the CBS affiliate there. So I know the Lambeau experience. I know the Green Bay experience pretty darn well. I'm curious, do you get back very often? And what are your fondest memories of playing football in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Yeah, I get back there every year, at least 2 or 3 times. My mother's still out there. I have a sister that's out there. They loved it. They love the Wisconsin. They want to stay out there. They grew up, they're from Cali, but they love it, man. So I go back and do some appearances, do some stuff for the high schools and the kids out there. Yeah. So one of my favorite experiences out there was probably Seattle, the snow globe game. That was pretty awesome. But I had, every game, first time I walked out on that Lambeau field, there's just a different experience. You feel something different. It's probably the best place to play a NFL program, in my opinion. It's just so pure. It's just so everyone is there. It's always sold out. It's never empty. And as an opposing fan, if you come there, you're going to get love. You're not going to get beat up. You're not going to get stabbed in the stands. You're probably going to get offered a brat and a beer, and you're going to have a great time, and you're going to leave there saying the same thing that I'm saying. It's probably the best place to watch a football game.
Certainly one of the loudest.
Wait, better than Philly for opposing fan?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The stab part was probably about Philly.
Yeah. You want to ask him about Weddle?
No, because I told him I'd be done, so you're going to answer the rest of the
All
question.
right, so last question, Coach. Eric Weddle and the friendly rivalry that you have developed between you two and the two schools, it's kind of what high school football, to me, is what it's supposed to be all about. And yet, I also think there's a real serious undercurrent of who's got the better program. Would you like to address that?
In my opinion, it's not about who has the better program. It's what program works for you. I wish it was that easy that the people can just go to any school they want to. But we work with the people that live in our area. Unfortunately, we don't have that transfer portal going out here. But he runs a great program. Rancho Bernardo has been a great program for our community for a long time. We are up and coming. We've been successful last year, the year before that. It's just different. We're different teams. We got a rivalry because we both want to win games, and we both want to win the championship, and we both want to, never lose. So that's what the rivalry is about. And obviously, he's a great coach, knows a lot about football. I feel that I'm the same way, that I know a lot about football. Just depends on any given day who's going to win or not. I mean, we saw the last game, the thing went 4 overtimes, right? So hopefully we have hopefully it's not that close, and hopefully we come out on top. But I'm looking forward to all the rivalries that we've built. There's going to be some good football teams in our division and in our league. Well, not our division. We don't know what division we're going to be in. But in our league, it's going to be some great games, great football played in San Diego. I thought last year San Diego County brought the heat, man. I thought everywhere from South Bay to North County, on the coast, we had some good football and some good football games played. To me, if you're here to watch high school preps, this is the county to be at. This is where it's at. It's been fun, entertaining, and and you guys helped that by putting us on the platform. So it's been fun.
Okay, last question. You're out at an event now, pregame, anything. Would you let Weddle try on your CIF ring? No.
Actually, I would let him try it on.
Well, he might outrun you. You never know.
I don't think he would ask that, though. I don't think he would ask that.
No. Hey, Coach, before we let it go, best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
Work hard. Everything else will fall into place.
And on that note, we'll call it a conversation. We'll let you get back to working hard and unpacking boxes and whatnot.
Exactly.
Coach Barnett,
And
we'll see.
I wish this all fell into place.
I know, we like a Harry Potter wand and just wave it. Coach, is there any chance you could snap a couple pictures, if you have them, of your ring and send them to me? Because I'd like to show the ring. So,
which one, the CIF or the Super Bowl ring?
Both. Do you mind?
Yeah. If I could find it. Oh, sorry, I'm messing with my thing. If I could find it, I'll send you a picture for sure.
All right, and I'll have Bert will follow up on that. All right, Nick, PPR podcast number 163 is over.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Coach, and get back to work.